Yes, so hello everybody, and welcome to a new WeThink podcast series dedicated to improving waste circularity in Europe. This year's first interview features Christian Wedekind, Senior Product Manager at AdHoc Networks, a German company which produces technical solutions for intelligent waste disposal. So, a very interesting topic for our International Waste Circularity Working Group. Hello, Christian, and thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
Hi, Tudor. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
It's a pleasure. Christian, just to get the things started, I would like, first of all, to kindly ask you to tell us a couple of words about yourself and about the company's activity.
Yes, so as you already said, my name is Christian Wedekind. I'm taking care of the product management here at AdHoc Networks. AdHoc Networks was formed in 2015 actually as a spin-off of Stein Sohn company, which is specialized in mainly mechanical, high precise measurement systems for the ship industry. And AdHoc Networks is now taking care of wireless sensor technology. So, and we started off, let's say, in the safety business and now switched over like 1.5 years ago into the smart waste business. We are basically developing everything ourselves. So we have electronics engineers, software engineers, and the whole solution is basically developed by us in-house. That's why we can perfectly tailor it for our customers. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Christian. I would like now to go into some further details regarding the solutions you are providing and ask you, how does this smart waste technology actually works? I mean, is it rocket science?
No, it's surely not, Tudor. So basically, it's very simple. Let's say if you look at it from above, so you basically take up the fill levels of containers and display them and prepare the data so that the customers can work with it in a very easy way. So, and I would like to show a little bit to better illustrate what the system is doing. So I'm gonna share my screen here very quickly and probably not start off with the platform itself, but start off with some basic introduction of the system itself. Let me get this on the side. So basically, the whole system consists of mainly 3 parts, which is a sensor that basically detects a fill level of a waste container, a platform where you can just visualize all the information, and a very important part, the service on our side, because we provide that the system is running at all time. But I will get into that a little later. So to just better describe how it works, I prepared a little bit of a animation to see how the flow of information is actually going. So we are measuring all kinds of containers for the system. So I used a typical recycling aisle container, as you know them when you bring away your cardboard or textiles or whatever. You can basically use the sensors for all kinds of materials. So is it maybe glass or residual waste? Everything works pretty well here. We also have underground systems. But in this example, it's the, let's say, classical recycling container. So we put our sensor on the top here. You see it, the small black box. And then the sensor uses an optical technology. It's an infrared light to detect the distance, basically, to the recyclable that's inside of the container. We can also measure quite an area, so it's not just a dot where we take the measurement, but we can measure a whole area, so that way, even if you have a pile in there, you get a pretty good representation. Then the data is transmitted to the cloud, to our AdHoc cloud, which we host, and from where we basically then provide the data for all the different use cases. One being, of course, the waste management business, which uses this data then to schedule the collections, to make also maybe some predictions about how much of that recyclable is being put into this container, what is happening at the different sites. So all kinds of information can be derived from that. We can have a look at that a little later. But we also can provide the information to citizens. So, for example, if you have an app, which very many cities have, where you can see where are the recycling aisles to put away your cardboard. You can also display some information where are those sites that still have capacity. So this is also a project that we're doing with some of our customers, that they want to share the data with their citizens to increase basically, quality of living. So you can, for instance, show with a pretty simple logic where you can bring your things where is still place for that. And on top of all that, we are there to basically keep the whole system running. And that's also something that maybe differentiates us a little bit from other solutions. So we basically keep the sensor fleet in our own monitoring. We have a separate monitoring platform for that. So we know what is the firmware on the device, how many times has it been restarting, is there a problem with the optical sensor, so we can all see that from remote and keep the system, let's say, very healthy. So we keep it running before our customers notice that there's some issue. And that also is applicable for the battery, for instance. So we see, is battery voltage decreasing? Then we notify our customer, hey, we need some replacement here. He gets a replacement sensor. He can exchange it very quickly, also supported by a mobile app, and then system is back to normal operation. So that's basically the concept of it. The sensor itself is actually pretty small. So you can, it's even smaller than a banking card. That's our latest development now. So you can fit it in typically any type of container. And to just get a feel of how the platform looks, we can also take a live view on that. So let me quickly jump into the platform. So this is the web platform, the entry dashboard, let's say. I picked a typical customer with about 150 underground systems here north of Germany. So you can, at first, you have an overview of all the containers that are in your on your site. So you have residual waste, plastics, and cardboard in this case, and you see the fill status of all the different containers. And you can also jump from here if you want to see, hey, which are the ones that have over 85%. You can also jump from here directly into the containers view, which would be the next one that I wanted to show you. And now you only see those filtered here. If we want to see all of the containers, then we can do that by going into this container section. Here you can see all your assets that you have on the platform, the fill status within lights, let's say red light, yellow, green, to make it a little bit easier to identify. And then, of course, all kinds of information from location to what type of container, what's the manufacturer number, and so forth. This table is actually pretty mighty, let's say. So we introduced a very responsive table in here, so you can manipulate the data in any form you want. You can even group it by this city, for instance, and see it there. So you can do a lot of things already here. And if you want to take a deeper look at what's happening in your respective container, you can also jump in there and look in a specific container, what's going on there. So let me do that. Show graph. Then you can see for the last 30 days, how was your fill level, increasing, decreasing. So here, this is just a very typical, let's say, picture what you get when you measure fill levels inside of containers, waste containers in this case. So you see it rising, and then you have your collection event, and then it starts again from zero. And you can also see here in this graph that you have a lot of information that you can look at. You see also the temperature, the distance information. You can also zoom in if you like, so to get a better view on these things. So you can do a lot of stuff here. And now if we see this, so this one is getting filled in, yeah, pretty short time, let's say, so about 10 days or so. This one is full. You can maybe look at other containers where you see a different behavior. And let me maybe show one more. I don't know. Let's pick this one. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is also pretty filled. I was actually looking for some containers where you can basically see that that where you have bigger potential, where you can schedule the collection at a later point in time. Just checking for this one. Yeah. So you see only 55%. Here it was pretty close to 80%. So this is also the potential that you then have. So you can, of course, then collect it later at a later point in time when it's nearly full, and save, let's say, collection events. So you have to drive less to empty these containers. You can also, in the platform, have a look at all your collections here. You can also see the fill level that was in there when you did the collection. And we are also going to introduce some more metrics into the dashboard so that you can see, okay, what was my mean fill level when I did my collection? So in order to optimize your collection, so you can see, okay, am I on the right track? Am I getting them at a later stage, so I can save more resources by collecting less often. Okay, so that was basically the very quick overview of all the functions. What we're currently implementing is also a dynamic route simulation, so that you basically get a recommendation from the system which containers you should be collecting today. And we are also going to include a prediction of the fill level so that you get a set of collections for the coming 10 working days. So you can organize even better. Mm-hmm. So far for that.
So far, so good. Thank you very much, Christian. Really interesting technology, and also a very good and self-explanatory video, actually, presentation. Maybe just a follow-up question. So besides the waste management and for the recycling companies, are there any other sectors that could, let's say, benefit from this smart technology? And I'm thinking here, maybe municipalities or waste to energy industry, for example, to name a couple of them.
Yeah, of course, because I mean, basically anywhere where you want to measure maybe fill levels of all different kinds. You can also measure fill levels of liquids, for instance. So logistics industries is interesting. You also have concepts like where you basically rent out the availability of some materials. So if you are a provider of maybe gear oil or something to a manufacturer that is using that, then you can basically provide a always full supply, because you know when the supply at the side of your customer is getting too low and you need to go there and fill it up. So logistics is also a big potential here, and of course municipalities. I mean, a lot of our customers are municipalities that are taking care of the waste business, but also for, let's say, salt that you need for in the winter for the roads. Anything where you have stored material in some kind of container, you can make use of this technology. And since our latest development is so small, you can even fit it in very small containers, like even like soap things like this. So there's a lot of possible applications for this kind of technology.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Christian. Let's talk a little also about the broader picture, because I want to ask you in which of the targeted industry do you see the greatest need to raise awareness on how these solutions, like the one you
Mm,
have, can improve sustainability and environmental protection?
mm. I mean, the one that we're currently active, so the waste management business is definitely one where, let's say, more awareness we think is also needed, not only because maybe people don't think about it, but it's also difficult to sometimes change these processes. Even, I mean, in most of the cases with municipalities, they are also a little bit restricted due to long-term agreements they have, maybe with sub-suppliers, or regulations take long to change them. So you have your fixed interval of emptying, and you also put it in your regulation with your customers. So to change that, that's always some kind of hurdle, right? So you're doing this all the time like this, and before you really change the system, there needs to be a big motivation for that. So, and that's why we also tailor our solution for that case. So with our solution, we want our customers to have as low effort as possible, so they can basically just use it and don't have to, let's say, build up a lot of knowledge to be able to make use of the savings that you can get with a system like this.
Mhm. Okay, Christian, I have one more question for you today, and it's related more to the relationship that you managed to develop with your clients. So one of the advantages for using your solutions is that you ensure a smooth functionality of the entire system. So basically, the potential investment risk is low. Can you maybe give us some more details on how do you manage to provide, let's say, a complete solution system in the long run?
Mhm. Yes. Our system, as you said, is a, let's say, a holistic system. So everything that we've just seen, the sensor, the web platform, everything is provided by us and developed by us. And in addition, we provide this as a monthly subscription. That's why our customers don't have to buy or invest a lot, but they can just rent it from us. Um, 12 months is the minimum period, so the risk is very low. It's easy to calculate what you need to invest, let's say, or pay for 1 year to just check it out, because we encourage our customers also to just try it, and that's why we also offer a 3-month free trial period with 2 sensors or 2 systems, so you can just check it out. Okay, does it work for me? Because we believe that making a step, trying something out, is sometimes better than making a big plan about something and taking a lot or putting a lot of time into that. And with the subscription comes not only the system itself, so hardware and the software, but as I described earlier, also the operation of the system. So our customers let's say a sensor doesn't work anymore for whatever reason, so no data is coming in. If you buy a sensor, then you of course have to look at the sensor. Okay, what's the problem here? Has the battery died? Do I need to send it in to the manufacturer? With our system, you don't need to make this, let's say, first analysis, because we keep an eye on the sensor and we know when there's a problem. And we want to, of course, detect the problem first before our customers see them. So, and that's why we are also always, let's say, with our customers, because we keep sensors running. We have a ticket system, so if they notice something, they can write us a ticket. We respond very quickly. So that's basically a partnership where we take care of the stuff that we can do best. So sensor technology, monitoring the stuff, keeping it running, and our customers can just focus on their core business, use the data that they need to optimize their processes.
Yeah, super, great. That is all for today. A very interesting first interview of the season, and we are very grateful to you, Christian, for this very nice and fruitful discussion.
Thanks a lot, Tudor.
Thank you, and keep in touch.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.